Last week's episode was for anyone who has ever felt completely drained or creatively empty. Constant creating, planning, and pushing can take more out of you than you truly realize. That's when self care has to step in and take over. And for me, honestly, self care means throwing on my Converse, grabbing a coffee, and heading off to a days long treasure hunt. If you've ever felt like this, then you'll want to go back and listen to that episode. Now, in this week's episode, I'll be chatting with Kathy Goers from Waste Not Upcycled. She's found a way to take something as simple as broken crayons and transform them into colorful, one of a kind creations that people love to give as gifts. If you've ever wondered how to turn the ordinary into something extraordinary, then join me as I dive in to this episode.
Welcome to the Rescued and Upcycled podcast with weekly inspiration, tips on trying new techniques, and overall real talk about owning your own DIY business. Now here's your host, Sonnet Ullenbrook.
Welcome back to Rescued and Upcycled, the podcast where we celebrate creativity, repurposing, and the stories behind the treasures that we rescue. I'm your host, Sonnet Ullenbrook, and I want to thank you all for joining me today. If you guys are new here, I love to talk about all things business, home decor, but I also love to interview creatives and other small business owners. And today I have such a fun guest for you guys. I'm sitting down with Kathy Goers of Waste Not Upcycled, a teacher, a mom, a reseller, and an upcycler. With a one-of-a-kind creative passion, Kathy takes something as simple as old crayons that are broken and transforms them into colorful custom letters. And she also has other molds, I think, as well. But they make the perfect gift. They also make great party favors or keepsakes. I know I have a set in my studio. I had her create for me. So we're going to dive into how she came up with this idea, what her process looks like, and why these little creations have captured so much attention. They definitely captured mine. But that's not all, you guys. Kathy also runs a vintage booth in Lake County, Illinois, and she shares her love of rescuing home decor, furniture, and even clothing. Plus, she's inspiring others on YouTube with her tutorials and projects that show how much beauty can be found in the overlooked and discarded. So grab your coffee, settle in, and get ready to be inspired by Kathy's story of creativity, resourcefulness, and heart. So Kathy, welcome to the podcast. I'm going to bring you on right now. Hello.
How are you?
Thank you. Oh, I'm great. How are you?
Good. I'm excited and honored to be here, Sonnet. So excited.
Good. I'm so glad you're here. I've known Kathy for a bit. I mean, I think it's like over a year, like is it going on 2 years, right?
I think it's at a year. Yeah, a year. Yeah, it was about a year.
Okay, about a year. I'm like, it seems forever. Oh.
Yeah.
So I'm so, like I said, excited that you're here. And I really want my viewers and listeners that haven't had the opportunity to have found you yet to learn a little bit more about you. So can you introduce yourself and share just a little bit more about your creative journey?
Sure. I'm Kathy. I'm with Waste Not Upcycled. I'm a full-time teacher. So my role has shifted a little bit with teaching. So I'm actually going to be coaching teachers. So that'll give me a little bit more time. I'm really excited about that. And then I am a part-time reseller and upcycler. My big thing is taking thrifted items, things that would go into the landfill, and upcycling them. And, I started out, I was a young entrepreneur. As a child, I created a newsletter for children throughout the United States and sent out newsletters. I always was kind of finding something to do. When my boys were little, I was started a children's museum in the area and did that. And then my real journey of creating started, I want to say around 2019. So.
Okay. And so that's how Waste Not Upcycled came about, or I guess tell us the story behind that and how it actually started and how you came up with the name.
Yeah. So thrifting has always been in my blood. My parents were thrifters. We garage sale, they did flea markets. And I always just like lived with going to garage sales and thrifting and that kind of a thing. And then I truly started in 2019 through clothing, actually. And just like I was amazed at the fact that people were just selling items for $1 that would normally cost $40 to $50 or something
Right.
like that. And so I discovered ways to kind of take what I was buying and help share that with other people. So it started there, and then kind of like dabbled in that part of it. And then truly like the crayon thing happened. As I mentioned, I worked with a group. We started a children's museum that traveled, and we had a rubbings table, and we had crayons there. And we actually decided to make crayons that the children could hold. So we made bigger crayons, circular crayons, and they absolutely loved it. And that was kind of tucked in the back of my head. And then during good old COVID, I really like woke up and thought, I'm going to do that crayon thing a little bit more, and dabbled into that. And I was doing the clothes, the crayons. And then that's when Waste Not really kind of started at that
Okay.
point, like right around COVID is when it really hit, I should say.
Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome. And so, okay, so you had the clothing, you started dabbling with the crayons, and then when did you start bringing in like the upcycled decor? And when did you get your when did that all happen? So you
Yeah,
said like 2019 and then like during
yeah,
COVID and then after.
yeah. So the furniture thing started like a little bit pre-COVID. So I had, the good old on the curbside kind of situation where I'm like, someone's throwing that like table away.
Right.
So I took that and I stained it and painted it. And then I decided to try to throw it on Facebook Marketplace, and someone bought it. And I'm like, oh, this works. So that's like kind of the beginning of it. I think I did an old window that had sold. I upcycled that as well. And then, so the crayon thing, like I had said, happened during COVID. I was doing everything online, and I had frequented a booth that I absolutely, or an antique place that I absolutely loved in Lake County. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to ask them if I could sell my crayons. And they were like, that's a fun idea. We don't have anything like that.
Mhm.
So I just got a very small area with just crayons.
Okay.
And I would kind of throw in little things of decor on the side with that like little area, and people would buy them. And I'm like, oh, this is really fun. Like, and it's addicting, right? Like getting
Mhm.
stuff, turning it over, and you can't keep it all. And so that's when I decided to go ahead, and this is after COVID now when things opened up. I think I'm going to go for it. The same place, Great Lakes Antiques Boutique, had one in Antioch. That's where I was. And they were opening another one in Grays Lake, and they had booths available.
Oh.
And like, I'm just going to free booths.
I'm
Woo!
like, free booth. Oh my God.
They had booths available. And so I went ahead and got a booth and became addicted. I actually have a second booth. So I have two booths, one in Grays Lake and one in Antioch. The crayons are like kind of my bread and butter, but yeah.
Yeah, so I wanna really dive into the crayons a little bit more because I
Cool.
find that to be just like, once I found out you were doing this, and then when I think it was when we did, our we, our organizational challenge, and then you showed, like,
So,
organizing your crayon area,
yeah,
and I was like, "Holy shnikes, she's
right.
got a lot of
I
crayons."
do. I do. Yeah, I
And
do.
so, what did like okay, so you had said you were making bigger crayons initially for that event. And then what really like made you think like I'm going to use letter molds and start doing these letters?
That's the teacher part of me. Like,
Okay.
first of all, children love to color, right? So I thought it would be a great way to not only bring in like learning about different colors, but actually coloring. And then now they're like playing with their name. There's letters. And I've had other things too. Like it's a boy or it's a girl or Big Brother, like all different things. But I just love the idea of like they're learning through play or creating, I should say.
Mhm.
And I felt like there's nothing more exciting as a child to have your name on something. So I thought that would be a fun idea. So that's kind of where I started with the letters of it.
Right. Well, I know, like, I even ordered a set for myself because I like to see my name.
Right?
I know. I love it. Very cool. So like walk us through the process just a little. You don't have to tell us all your secrets or
Yeah.
anything, but so where do you get like all your crayons and like what like once you get them, then I mean, I saw how many you had and you
Yeah.
kind of initially had them all jumbled together and you
Oh my, it
organized.
was a hot mess. Yeah.
So tell us about all that process.
Okay. So as far as getting crayons, I've gotten them from everywhere. When I first started, it was like anyone I told that I was doing it were like, everyone had a stockpile of crayons because they had younger kids. Like, I have a ton of crayons that we're not using. People would literally drop them off on my doorstep. Teachers,
Oh,
it was so funny. Like, okay, I have crayons left over. I'll just leave them on your doorstep. Teachers, like at the end of the school year, we have lost and founds, and there's lots of crayons in there. At the end of the year, when they were cleaning their classes, they'd hand them over to me. But it was getting to a point like where it's a good problem, but I was like not having enough crayons, and Goodwill sells backs of crayons that are broken. I've ordered boxes on eBay. I mean, I've gotten them all over. So
nice.
yeah, so I take those crayons, and actually my secrets are out there on YouTube. I did create a video
Oh,
that someone,
I'm like,
but if someone doesn't want to buy them or even wants to make them on their own, I definitely encourage that. So I did create a video, a tutorial of make your own. Like, this is how you make them.
oh,
So yeah, you peel them, the molds, like you said, I have molds of all different kinds. I've tried all different things. They do need to be melted. That's the fun part. And then they cool off, and then it's so fun to see what they look like when they're done. Yeah.
I
Thank
know.
you.
Oh gosh. I know mine turned out so neat. I almost feel like you mix like different color greens or something or um
Exactly.
yeah, I think I did like a rainbow type of look. So I really like them. So yeah. So we talked about how you sourced your crayons and you said you got them all over and then you did a video. What made you decide to share the secrets to like share out there and is it because you're a teacher?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
And truly, like, I do want to inspire people to create in different ways. And if
Yeah.
someone else, if I would love for someone to create that and learn how to do that.
Yeah.
And then there's others who might see my video like, I don't have the time. This is a mess to do. And like, they can order them from me. I would love to
Right.
make them a set. So
Yeah. No,
yeah, yeah,
absolutely. I
yeah.
know, when I used to do vendor events, the best part was, like, when they would walk up and see something that I've created, and they're like, "Oh, I can totally do that," and I'm thinking, "You have to buy this, and this, and this, and this, and this," and, like, "Add it up, lady. You're gonna be spending a whole lot more doing
Yeah.
it,"
That
you
is
know
the best.
yeah. So, I just because really they'll need molds, they'll need crayons, they'll need I think, well, basically
Patience.
what was that? Oh, patience. Right, because I'm sure the first time may not have turned I'm sure your first one did not turn out the way
Right.
they are turning out now.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
yes. So, yes, have you had any, like, real happy accidents in the process? Something like one that turned out just absolutely amazing or, that you just didn't expect?
Yeah, well, originally I was just doing like just plain colors, and then I, like you said, with the different shades, how it's marbleized. That was kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, I like this better. So I do most of them marbleized now. So it's just a little happy accident. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite customer story where your crayons really made a huge impact?
Well, all of them make me happy. I love when my customers send me videos of. I have a lot where they have the children opening it and thanking me, which is so
Oh.
sweet. But Some of my favorite stories, I had a girl reach out. I do all different shapes. And she was doing a Lego event in a state. I don't remember. I think it might have been Ohio, whatever. But she wanted to give them away as people came into this Lego event. And so I made boxes. It took me a long time. So that was neat. And then I had, I think it was in California, for children's parties. He was in charge of organizing all the parties and did 25 names for the kids. So I was like, wow, that's cool. So it was just neat that people had different ideas.
Right. Oh, I love it. So if people want to order these from you, how can they order them other than picking them up in your booth?
Yeah. So aside from the booth, I do now have a website. So it's wastenotupcycled.com. I sell them on Poshmark and I sell them on Etsy. Or
Okay.
you can reach out to me as well.
Yeah.
I just
Awesome.
yeah.
Yes, I was so excited to, order the set for myself. I also ordered a set for my niece and nephew, and they both don't want to use them.
Yep. Yep. I hear that a lot. Mhm.
They my nephew has his like just sitting there and he looks at it because I said, "Are you using them?" "Oh, no. I just want to keep them as is." I'm like, "Okay."
Oh, I love
Oh, I
it.
know. I do too. So, well, that is very cool that you came up with something so creative and unique, especially since you are a teacher. I do have to find out, what grade are you teaching?
Okay, so this year's different. So this year I'm a coach. So I will be in all of our intermediate classrooms, choosing goals with the teachers. I'm going to help them to reach the students the best they can.
Okay.
So I'll be coaching over 40 teachers, and then it's this the beginning of the school year was like very. I had a couple tears, and so it's just I'm their cheerleaders and helping them and just really
Oh,
getting them going. And I get to be in the classroom all day, all different classrooms. So I'm excited. Yeah. But I
okay.
don't bring home the grading and I don't bring home the planning. So I get to create. Mhm.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. But prior to this, was it more of like an elementary school then, I'm assuming?
Yep. For a long time, I taught second grade
Okay.
and then I semi-retired when I raised my boys. And then I taught preschool and did the children's museum. When I went back, did more second grade and then fifth grade for 2 years in the last two
Okay.
years. So everywhere from
Right.
pre-K to fifth.
Yes.
I love it.
I know. You're such I mean, I feel like even in our meetings, like your teacher skills come out for both both you and Natalie.
Oh,
So
he's awesome. Yeah.
I know. I know. I love it. So let's dive into your decor that you upcycle and you're reselling. So you talked about upcycling furniture and decor, and you talked about like how it just kind of happened in between a couple of those. How did really that part of the journey begin? Were you just driving along one day, you saw something free on the side of the road?
Um, well, yes,
Okay.
that's like the big kickoff with the furniture part of it. And then, like I said, I've always had that thrifting bug. Like
Yeah.
it's just in my genes.
Yep.
And so there comes a point, like I would see something. I think a lot of creators do that. Like you see something and you're like, oh my gosh, this shouldn't just be sitting here or like end up in the garbage. There's so much more potential for it because there's just so much stuff in the world, right?
Right.
So you just want to just give it a new life. And so I think because I garage sales so much in the summer, I really discovered like, okay, I can't keep everything. I love creating with it. And that's just kind of where it happened, where like, wow, I can actually make something even more out of this as far as, a small business.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you remember the very first piece of furniture or decor that you've ever rescued and then what you did to it?
Yeah. It was a small coffee table.
Okay.
And I stained it 2 different colors and then I sold it on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did mention that earlier, so I didn't know if that was actually the very first piece,
Yeah, that's
so
what I remember, at least in my memory, like, that's
okay.
coming and going at this point.
Right. Girl, I hear ya.
Right?
Um, and so you talked about having your 2 booths. So what can shoppers expect, when they go into either of your booths?
Yeah. So the crayons are there. So that's
Yeah.
kind of like my niche, I guess, that sets me apart from everyone else. Like, oh, you're the one with the crayons. Okay, I get it. So I do have like a pretty decent sized section of crayons with all the letters hanging, all different types. I have a crayon bar where they can choose, different crayons in a bag for a price. Um, and then I have all my furniture and all my home decor and in all different styles. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So you talked about how this year is gonna be a lot different, and last year was very different. You had a grade, you had to come up with how to plan your classes. So when did you find time to do these upcycles and flips and,
Yeah.
tend to your booths? Like, how did you manage all of it?
Yeah. It's a lot. And I know you know that too. Right? So I had to really, I'm a big list maker as you are, and I prioritize that list. And I give myself a lot of grace. So it's like a giant list with two things on the top that really, really needed to get done that night or one, whatever it was. And then that's okay. Then it'll carry over to the next day if it needs to.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I survive with my lists and grace. Like if I'm exhausted, like everyone's going to be okay. I'll be fine and we'll survive. So I
Right.
think that the grace part was important for me. It's
Mhm.
hard when an order comes in and you have to get it out in a couple days or so. That got a little bit dicey, but I'm still standing. So
You are, girl. I know, I can definitely relate to that. This last week has been I put far too much on my plate, and I had to just keep saying I had to give myself some grace for things that just slid to the wayside, and, so yes, I understand, and
Mhm.
as you grow, your business grows, it becomes, a little bit more crazy.
Sure.
So as your business grows, have you thought about if you'd ever step away from teaching altogether to do this full time, or is it just are you going to still juggle the two?
I'm juggling. I love teaching so much. I really do. And retirement is not that far in my future. So truly what I've been doing is setting myself up. So, I'm trying to do what I can.
Yeah,
And that way when I do retire, there's something kind of like the beginning of, something I hope to become bigger.
right. Okay, so you look so young. So I can't,
Oh, I'm older than you, Sonnet.
no, you're not.
Yes, I am. I
I'm
hit the big 50. Wait, how old am I? Last year. Last year.
okay. Okay. I'm like
I'm older than you.
retirement. I don't think the
Yeah,
retirement is
yeah.
anywhere near your
I
future,
know
but
it's junior. I did semi-retire, so it's gonna be a little bit longer than I thought. But yeah.
okay. Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, awesome. So do you find yourself drawn to a certain style? I know you mentioned in your booth you're going to find a little bit of everything, but
Mhm.
you lean more like rustic, farmhouse, or do you just love to mix it up?
When it comes to the booths, I love to mix it up. It's kind of like what's going on with my moods at the time. Like I had a like kind of a moody thing going on, and I had a vignette of that. Some sections are white. But myself personally, like the woods and the metals and the vintage. Like my house is um, the woods, the metals, and the plants. That's what I love. Is like kind of I call it the old meets bold. But yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I
yeah.
love it. Very cool. I know. I think you have to be more like that, when you have a vendor booth and then put that in like little mini vignettes, like you mentioned, like you had a moody vignette. I did notice though at some of the vendors over where I have my vendor booth, you can really tell like the one booth, it's all white. And like, I mean, that's her look. Um,
Mhm.
like one is all like just all like dark vintage, and so they definitely some people have a specific look, and then others just I do a mix too,
Yeah.
so
it's kind of fun. I do admire like those that have like that whole aura of that look.
Mhm.
Because it's like, wow, you do that really well. But at the same time, I love the ability to like create different things that I wouldn't have in my home that don't have to fit a certain style, that I have a place to put them. So if I wanted to try something new, I could put it into my booth and hit a person. So I kind of
Right.
like mixing it up. Yeah.
Mhm. I know sometimes too, like I thrift something or I upcycle something. I keep it for myself for a bit and then it ends up in my booth a little bit later.
Don't you love
So
that?
I
Yep.
know
I
I
love
do.
it.
I'm like, I get to enjoy it. Sometimes I'm like, I really don't want to give it up yet. I'm
Yeah.
like, you don't have to son it. You can keep it for a bit longer.
Yep.
But my daughter always says, you can't keep everything, mom. So now in your vendor booths, do you have clothing too, or is that specifically all on Poshmark? Oh,
Yeah. I do it all on Poshmark. Our the Great Lakes Antiques boutique has their own boutique of clothing. So I don't even dabble in that area. Yeah. So I
oh,
just do it on Poshmark. Mhm.
okay. So anybody that wants clothing can head on over. Is it Waste Not Upcycled on Poshmark too? Okay. Good,
Exactly. Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
So I need to know what made you decide to add YouTube also into the mix of everything that you're doing. I mean, you're
Yeah.
juggling a lot already, girl. So
I
what
love
created?
it. Add it
Yeah.
on. Right? Um, so I started watching YouTube creators such as you. Gosh, I'm trying to think when you were doing your, was it 12 Days of Christmas,
Oh
right?
yes,
3
yes.
years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And so I started watching people and I went, I discovered that underworld or that world a while back. And just, like when I'd be gardening, I'd have that on and I'd be watching or creating and so on. And then I loved watching people show their resale thrifts. Like I loved watching you out of your trunk.
Yeah.
And so a year ago, last summer, I decided, I mean, I would come home and like everyone in my family who's home, like, look at this, look at that. Guess how much I paid for this? And it got to the point where they're good with it. But I'm like, you know what? Oh, I see people do it. I'm gonna try this. So I went ahead and I'm like, I'm just gonna jump off that cliff and try it. And I did. Um, they're kind of a mess in the beginning, when you first start, there's like
Right.
cicadas in the background, like it was out of control.
Oh my
But
gosh, yes.
well, I did start that way. And then I was inspired with our group to like kind of try that creative route more because I loved creating. And so that's when I started to kind of shift and not show as many thrift hauls. And then I started to do that creating and that picked up a lot more of the people who are viewing me. Like I saw that spike and people really needing to see that and learn from that. So that's how I started.
Awesome. And really, I'm sure YouTube is just another way of teaching, but not in a classroom. It's more like big scale, right?
Yeah, I love it. It is. It definitely is. Yeah.
Yes. So, have you been surprised by any responses from your community that you're forming?
I have been pleasantly surprised. Like I didn't the comments keep me going, and that's
Yes.
what I'm like, they like me. I'm excited. Like that's a big deal. Like so yes, I've been pleasantly surprised. And it's fun to see like I didn't realize that there's going to be people I just don't even know, but just that kind of are always on board with you and are sending you messages and like, so that's been really exciting. There's just
Mhm.
been, a couple of those couple little ones here and there, like about the music or this or that. And I'm like, yep, you're right. Okay, move on. Like, no
Yeah.
big deal. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. You develop thick skin after a
Me
while.
too.
I
Mhm.
know, and it's funny talking about music, I just have to mention this that in my last video, I did my music identical to I always do it, and I think something must have changed with my editing software program because after she said, "I've never noticed your music being this loud," and then when I went to edit my next video, I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Then I like replayed it, because normally what I do is I always do my voiceovers and then I just add my music, and then I listen a little bit, but I don't listen to a lot. And all of a sudden I'm like, it is a lot louder. So I
Hmm.
had to like lower the volume even further, because that was my big mistake when I had my first viral video, and I didn't know that I was like, I'm using music. I learned how, and then it was on 50.
Oh, that's
I blew
funny.
some people's eardrums out. So yeah.
Right, right. That's funny.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
So with your YouTube channel, do you see it like pivoting at all? Do you envision them coming behind the scenes? You know, because you have the cutest little. You keep showing photos, or like you're upcycling in it, like a cute little shed. Do you envision ever like showcasing any of that?
I thought about that. I need to figure out the Wi-Fi part of it and like all the logistics. But once I do that, and then like I keep saying it's a hot mess, but it is a hot. I have like furniture on one side and my little. So I'd like to play around with that, and I would love to work out of that because I have a couple different places. I'm in like our dungeon basement sometimes. I'm in I'm all over the place. So, but I do have a very cute shed that was built last summer.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's adorable. It was a long building, but yeah, yeah, that's a whole nother story.
Oh gosh. Well, let's talk about that, because honestly, I think you had like a video where you were showing some stuff, and I'm like, that looks like a really cute shed. You
It's
know?
cute. Yeah, it's cute.
So what made you decide, why was it truly intended for your the purpose of you working out of it?
It was. I have a small section. It's not huge, but I have a small section to work out of. And then truly like storing my furniture was a big thing. So I mean, the garage was being taken over, right? Everyone has that story.
Yeah.
And so I it was built to house my furniture and then give me a work area as well. But it has cute windows so I can, you know, create while I'm working out the window. But yeah. So
Mhm.
we had
Yeah.
someone build it. The quick story, I don't want to take too long with it. We had found someone who to build it for us and
Okay.
originally quoted a pretty low price, but it and like, oh, I'll have it done in 4 days. It turned into the whole summer and like it's like it's not $1 million, but it became a big, huge project. Like it was a rough situation, but it's all good now.
Okay. So I have to know, did the person
Yeah.
who initially quoted you, did they finish? Are they the ones that finished it?
We did, but boy, did it take a long time. It was
Okay.
so yeah, it was a bad situation. Yeah. Um, it was like someone who had done some extra side work for us in the past on our decks we're like, "Okay, we want this shed." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I could do it in like 3 days. It'll be this, a lower amount, 3,000 or something." It like doubled. Um, and we tried to give grace. We gave too much grace to him. I think everyone's like, why are you just not like all over him about it? Um, but I think he had stuff going on the side of in his life. And so you never know anyone's story, right? So
Right.
it was a mess, but
Yeah.
we got it. He finished it. He got paid. It's all good. But we always laugh. We're like, we think about moving once in a while. And we're like, no, we've got the shed back.
I
Yeah.
know.
Right.
We talked That's so funny that you said that, because we talked about that too, and we're like, we built our garage, then I built the greenhouse, and now I built my studio out there.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
I'm like, everything is like where I want it. I just need
And
to clean it
flatbed
up.
and doing it with you, right? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. We'll see what happens." But I know I love my studio now too, that I got it all
Mhm.
cleaned.
I'm
So
excited about that for you. Yeah.
I'm so excited to get a tour of yours. So maybe you should
I
I
will
mean, you don't need Wi-Fi. You can take video footage and then
true.
edit.
Yep, true.
I had to throw that in there, because when I'm like, "Wi-Fi? Why do you need Wi-Fi?"
Yeah, I guess you're right. I could take videos of it. I
You
have to
can.
clean it up a little bit, but I will.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to see. So let's really talk about how, we briefly talked about balancing, but really it takes a lot to really balance it all. I mean, really for you, teaching full time or even us like helping in your new role, being a mom, running your booths, making the crayons, running your YouTube channel, upcycling. I mean, really, how do you keep all these plates spinning?
Yeah. Yeah. They're
All
yeah,
juggling.
right. Yes. Sometimes I have to pick up a plate off the floor and put it back together.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, like I mentioned, that the list thing is huge for me. And family does come first.
Yeah.
That's so, so, so important is that my family, if something happens, that they always are first. Even with my career, I've always felt that way. Um,
Mhm.
but again, it's the list. And then I've discovered also that going slow and steady is super important for me. Like,
Yes.
I want to do it all. There's so many more things I want to conquer, but it's not time. That'll happen in good time. And by going slow and steady, then I have like a good foundation, I hope.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I've just seen so many different creatives try to do things really quick and fast. And I know sometimes you want to be there, you want to be at that next level, but you really want to make sure like what you're tackling now, like how you just got your website up and running.
Mhm. That's
I mean, that was a huge undertaking for you. So now you'll learn that and get that all going, and then you can tackle the next thing. So
yeah.
adding different products possibly to
That's
your
still
website.
on my list. Yeah, that is. That's a
Yeah.
one. Yep. Yeah.
So you talk about your family a lot. What does your family think of all the different ways that you create?
Yeah.
What are their thoughts?
Yeah. So I have, well, I have a blended family of four, just so you know. I've like four, I say boys, they're men. They're all in their 20s. And they are my biggest cheerleaders. They're so sweet. They're the ones that like, I don't know, when I first started on YouTube, they're like, "Do you know what you're up to?" Like they'll check and so they're my cheerleaders for
Yeah.
sure. They're excited and ultimately like my goal is to inspire them to like find a good hobby, be
Yes.
mentally healthy and then just do what you can with it. So, and then Sean, he's who I went with for the weekend. Like he's started to thrift too as well and sell, which is so exciting. So it's kind of a partnership. So that's been really great. And he's awesome. So he's a good cheerleader.
Oh, oh, I love
And
it.
yeah.
Awesome. So, what is some advice that you would give to someone who has a creative side hustle and wonders if they can do it all? So, what is your one, or one or a couple pieces of advice?
Yeah. I think this, like I said before, the slow and steady is huge. Like,
Mhm.
um, don't try to do it all. It's overwhelming, and we know it can cause burnout. But to just really like sit back, reflect on like where you're at that moment. I say live in the moment for sure.
Right.
Definitely forecast. Um, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. Like we're creatives are like no one's going to get hurt from it. No one's, like make a mistake. It's good. You
Right.
learn from that. So I think that's just put
Oh,
yourself out there. Yeah.
absolutely. Yes. So, we have to talk about thrifting now. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
I know, because you keep talking about how you love thrifting,
Oh,
and I know you love thrifting,
I love
and you
it. Yeah.
just went on this big thrifting
Yeah. Not like
mission.
yours, but yeah.
Yeah. But it was awesome.
Yeah.
So you talk about how you love to hit up rummages,
Mhm.
and you do that a lot. What are some of your other favorite places to thrift, or and what do you look for when you're out thrifting?
Yeah. Everything. Okay. First and foremost, there's something about garage sales. I feel like garage sales in this area are the number one way for
Oh,
me to thrift. Yeah. Like,
okay.
it depends. You can walk up on a garage sale and be like, they're married to their stuff. They're not really wanting to get rid of it. And then
Mhm.
there's others who are like, everything's $1. You know what? Take that, take this, take that. And you're like, are you sure? Like you feel guilty, but you're like, you're going to do good things with it. Right. Like,
Right.
so, I think garage sales are my absolute favorite.
Yes.
Because of the prices, I'm pretty frugal when it comes to buying, even at thrift stores. And then I do Goodwill bins are not super close to me, but for clothing, I do go there.
Mhm.
And rummage sales, because they have those, like that last day is like fill everything you can, for $5. And
And you fill it to the brim.
they're like, wow, you know how to roll those things up and roll.
Oh my God. That's awesome. I love it.
Summer, I'm much busier because number one, I don't want to hoard, right? Like I really want to just but I know that it's going to kind of slow down in the winter. So it's like, okay, we're fine. Keep going. Keep going.
Right. I know you had messaged me that the Goodwill bins that were kind of in between us, they stopped selling hard goods. Is that true?
Yes, I'm so sad. Yeah, I originally started going there just because I was doing the clothing at that point when I went there. And then the last time we were thrifting our way up to, I think we went to Fond du Lac, and we stopped there. And I was like, it's just clothing now? Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a couple books that are bins that are books, and that kind of stuff, but it was mostly clothing. I am very excited to get to yours. I don't even know what to expect.
Yes, I know. So I am trying to come up with a plan that maybe we could do something on Sunday morning, head over there. So what I'm referring to, for those of you that are listening, you don't know, in October, I have the Vintage Soul Creative Retreat, October 2nd to the 4th. There are still openings at this point. There's still some tickets available. And you're going to be doing all creative things. It's going to be so good. We have a lot of amazing creatives coming to help teach. And then Sunday morning, I would love to go over there and hit the bins before everybody takes off to their final destinations. So, but yeah, it's good. I think I might go there tomorrow. Tomorrow morning.
Darn, I have to work.
I know, right. If you were retired.
Oh, yeah.
I know. And when I was in Nashville or in Tennessee or whatever, and Sylvia brought everything back home, and I said, "Well, you could drive to Appleton just to go to the bins with me." I was trying to encourage her, but we met halfway. I met her halfway. So, but I know I'm she loves they all love the bins. They went there when they were here last year for the retreat, and they just love them. So they're good.
How far are you from you're right there, right?
Oh, 5 minutes from my house.
That is so dangerous. That is dangerous.
Yes. I know. Yeah. So the week that I was like, I am going to go there every single day, Monday through Friday. I'm just going to do it. By Friday, I was really tired.
Yeah.
It's draining, but it is dangerous though. So I was trying to hit it up once a week, but even that, I'm just so busy that the summer is really busy. So like you said, yeah, very busy. So, so what are some of the fun things that you recently found this summer that you are super excited for, or that you're going to exactly what you're going to do with it and upcycle it?
Yeah. So, just this weekend, I'm not upcycling. I found my marshmallow tin. I'm so excited. And then I have a lot of chairs. I have a couple tables, and then I have so much home decor to work on. Today on the way back, I did find a vintage bin, all green and chippy. So I have to figure out something I want to do with that. Yeah, I have a lot of fun things. Yeah. I've been working on, my sister had given me an old vintage piano. This is crazy. She gave me a vintage piano that they were getting rid of, and it was in pieces. And she called me and she's like, "Do you want it?" I'm like, I do. I want to upcycle it. So I've been like piece by piece by piece. I made a couple of videos on it. I did all the keys and kind of fun things, and then I did another piece, so I still have some like odds and ends. So that's something I want to continue to work on. I'm excited about that. So it's cool.
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in Tennessee, the gal that hosted the retreat, she had, I don't know if they were like pianos or what they were. I would consider them pianos. I think she called them something else, but they were so ornate and beautiful, and she had
Mhm.
like 5 of them, I think, and she said she was going to turn them into desks.
Ooh, oh,
Yeah.
that's a great. So they were still pieced together, or were they like
They were
salvage?
all pieced together. They were just
Wow.
amazing. But I don't know how she said she did one like years ago, and she constructed it to make it like a desk of some sort. And then she had Dion from the Turquoise
Mhm.
Iris
Mhm.
paint it, and then they sold it. And she said that they put it online and it sold within like a day because it was so amazing. So
That's fun. That's
yeah,
neat.
that
Yeah.
was really cool. So, but that's really awesome that it was all like deconstructed. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. They had it all taken apart. Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh, I want that. Oh, yeah, the pedal? I'll take that." Yeah, all these pieces, and so then, um, I just kind of looked at it and it was like, "What am I gonna make out of this or that?" So that's been fun, looking at these pieces and trying to figure out. My last one I did was, like I don't even know what part of the piano, all the little prongs stick out, so I made a jewelry holder for my booth.
oh, that's
We
cool.
just decoupaged that. Yeah, that was fun. So,
Oh,
but
I love
yeah.
it. See, there's so many things that, if you just sit back and like start, getting like brainstorming, and you can think of ways to use different pieces or different things. And I love that there's so many of us out there that keep so much of this out of the landfill.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I know.
Helpful.
Um, yeah. So has there been any favorite pieces that you've rescued and upcycled that
Oh,
tell
yeah.
tell me your top 5? Okay.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Well, I'm
Okay.
just saying because I like if you had asked me, I would be like, I love this one
I
and this
know.
one.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely. The piano parts were like a big one for me, was that part that I turned into the jewelry
Okay.
holder. And then I had, out of a rummage sale, it was this giant, I think it would be called like a credenza kind of thing. And I started it, and I have a tendency to like just kind of start it, and then I wanted to do something more with it, but I didn't know. And just, I was so pleased with how that turned out. It was a credenza that I just stained and just did everything with, that I had in my booth. And I was excited to hear that it became a bathroom piece in a restaurant. I still need to go find where it's at. So that was like my second favorite. Gosh, what else? I This is kind of a silly thing. I take old hangers,
Mhm.
and then I upcycle them by taking fabric. And so they're like different colors with fabric. So non-slip hangers. It's one of my
Oh.
favorites. Yeah. So top 3, I guess.
All right. Well, one of my favorite things that you did was the basket, where you took
Oh, sorry. That
I
is
did
fun. The apple basket.
apple basket. Oh
Thank
my
you.
gosh.
That was my first time ever using paint inlays. That was fun. I gave it to my friend. I was so excited. She works at the booth, and every post she'd be like, "So are you selling it yet?" Like on my YouTube, "Did you list it yet?" And then she's been such a sweetheart. Like, she does so much. And so I came there with a blanket, and I'm like, "Hey, Megan," and gave it to her. And she's like, "I'm gonna cry." I'm like,
My
"It's
gosh.
yours. I love you." Yeah.
Oh, you're so sweet. I mean, the whole time you're making it, like, I'm watching the video and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I just love this. Oh my
Oh.
gosh." I know, I was like, "I need to replicate it." It was so good what you did.
It
So,
was it was truly like I had seen something that was similar, where I think someone painted it or did something, but I was just like, "Okay, this is a great way to try those paint inlays." And boy, did it teach me that they're not that hard to use. I had no idea. Like,
I
Yeah.
know. I know, and people are so afraid still.
Yeah.
And so I think that I think one of the things they're afraid of is they like want to use them on a big scale project. Okay. That's
Right.
the number one thing.
Sure.
And they
Right.
think that that's what they have to tackle it on. It's like, no, take a little chunk of it
Hmm.
and just practice separate, like practice on just a junk board even and
Yeah.
see, like how much paint you have to put on and like play around with it. It's so fun. So, yeah.
That's true. And then again, like I keep saying, like, what's the worst thing that can happen? Right. Like
Yeah.
everyone's going to live.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Well, and you can paint over it if you hate it,
100%. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. It's like if you absolutely hate it, paint over it. I mean, like anything can be painted. So, but yeah, so any final words like of advice for thrifting or like sourcing any pieces?
Oh. Um, like I said,
Ooh, rummage sales. I'm like, gosh, no, it's probably too late in the year to go rummaging here.
I know it's winding down here too. Gosh, get to those Goodwill bins. You're so lucky.
I know.
Yeah, I just feel like I think just in general, like the rummage sales, the thrift stores, everything. I think just we as humans, not even for being creative,
Mhm.
um, just need to like switch your mindset and realize like what a good thing it is. Like, I mean, when I even go into like church rummage sales and I've seen piles of clothing, I'm like, this is crazy how much stuff is out there. And
Mhm.
like, one of my goals, one of my ideas is like I don't know if this is going to happen, is to truly like go on a 1 year, everything for myself is
Oh.
through thrifting. I want to do that challenge. I'm waiting for the DIY or the IOD to come out first and then I'll do it. No, I'm like, oh wait, I can't. But like I even have thought about craft stuff, but that would be really hard. Anyway, so I just think that, you can so much can be bought that way, in
Mhm.
our daily lives, like
I know.
what we normally use. So
It's
yeah.
interesting that you say that because, I you well, like recently I bought just a few things like off of Amazon when I needed clothing, like real quick. Like I didn't have time to go to, and I knew that I was going to get it the next day
Yeah.
and I needed it,
Yes. That's a
like,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But whenever like I knew like I had a trip coming up or whatever, and I'm like, I'm very frugal. I'll be totally honest. I'm like the most frugal person. And
I
so I like had a list and I'm like, okay, I want some new shorts. I want a dress, like two dresses or whatever. I would actually we have actually 4 Goodwills in the area, and
Mhm.
I would hit all of them up and I would literally get a brand new wardrobe for my trip that I would go on. And it was all like top name brand clothes. And half the time it was like the 50% off tag. I don't know if your Goodwills do that any longer, but
Stopped. But yes, yeah.
yeah, we have the color of the week. And now they have 2 colors. So they have the color of the week, that's 50% off, and then they have the secondary color, which is $1.99. So,
You can't beat that.
no.
I think that go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, absolutely. You go ahead. Tell me
No,
what you can.
I think every time I go to check out, like when I'm buying at the thrift store, I'm like, I don't know how other people shop at this store. Like when it's $20 and I'm like, I just got so much. Like this is one, not even a pair of pants. I mean, right?
Oh, I know. I
Yeah.
know.
So yeah.
And I'm trying to instill that in my daughter as well because
Yep.
we were at Boot Barn. I don't know if you're familiar with Boot Barn, but they have like all these jeans, and she's really into like these cowboy boots and these jeans that you get there.
Mhm.
And then we checked out, and she's like, and she had okay, so the agreement was I'd buy her one pair and she would have to buy the other pair. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, they're so expensive." And I'm like, "Right? That's why I
Mhm.
always tell you, you should be shopping at Goodwill because I bet you these jeans are probably there because someone bought them and got sick of them, or like people
Right.
are so changeable." And so it's funny because I didn't even did I tell you the story already that I didn't even know she had gone and bought some stuff?
Mhm.
And the only reason I found out was that I went to check out and I gave the lady my telephone number because we have a Good Points card there.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, I remember your daughter came in here. She used your Good Points card, and I had a discussion of how to pronounce your name."
Oh, you're like,
I'm like, "She was here? Yeah, she bought a bunch of clothes. Like, did she even remember what she bought?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, she never even told me." So
that's
now she's been telling me though that she's been going and she's like, "Mom, I am getting the best deals. I'm finding Lululemon and I like all these like high-end clothes that would
yep.
cost an absolute like hundreds of dollars at the store she's getting for, you know, virtually like
Right.
I don't even know if it's a quarter of the price. It's probably like an eighth.
Yep.
So,
Completely. Yeah.
so yeah. So, well, I'll get off that soapbox. So
I'm right there with you.
I know. So I am just so excited though that my viewers and listeners were able to find out, about your amazing crayons and where they can, your vendor booths and just how absolutely creative you are.
Thank you.
So let them know where they can find you. So we talked about your YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. I am on Instagram, Facebook. I'm on TikTok. And then, like I mentioned, I also have my own website, and it's all under the handle of Waste Not Upcycled.
Yes. And your clothing, you said Poshmark
Thank you. Yeah.
and Etsy.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
You're up. You're all over.
I'm all over.
Again, how do you keep up? No, just kidding.
Doggy paddling.
Yeah. So, but again, I want to thank you so much for joining me today on my podcast. And I am just so grateful that you shared your story and all the amazing creativity behind Waste Not Upcycled. So, you guys go give her pages a lot of love. I will have it all listed in the description below. But next week, you guys, it's going to be a good one. As summer winds down, our homes can sometimes feel caught between seasons. So bright and airy, but maybe missing that cozy vibe that we start craving in fall. So next week on the podcast, I'm sharing some simple and subtle swaps that you can make to transition your decor from summer to fall. So no giant tubs of pumpkins yet, or overwhelming projects. Just some easy, impactful ideas that will bring warmth and charm into your space. So definitely mark that on your calendars. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you guys all hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on an episode. And you can find me on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, basically wherever you listen to your podcasts. And while you're there, I'd love it if you left a review and shared the podcast with a friend. It definitely helps more creatives find me and join in on all this fun that we had today. So I want to thank you all again for spending part of your day with me. Until next time, keep creating, rescuing, and keep finding joy in upcycling. Bye, guys.